So tell me, how does it feel to be living in an unloving world? Well, think about your past experience. Why don't you go turn on the news for a little while and tell me how that feels. We can only control our own actions. We cannot control the actions of others. We have to deal with the byproducts and ramifications of other people's actions. Right? So, how do you navigate a world that is so unloving? And do you fight back? Or do you remove yourself from those situations? It's kind of hard, because you are one of 7+ billion people living in this world, all going about their business, doing what they need to do to get by, whether it's survival or whether it's some ambition. I truly believe that the majority of the people in this world want to be good. They want to be happy. They want peace. Yet we don't get there. It eludes us so much. We find moments of peace, but overall, we're going to get bombarded at some point with some form of resistance, with some form of energy that is anything but positive. It's just there's too many moving pieces in this world for you to avoid all of it. So, how do you prepare for it? Well, as I mentioned before, you can control your own actions. You have little control over anybody else's actions. So, you have to start from within by being the best person that you can be, because in the long run, that's all that matters. Your own accountability, to be accountable for yourself and towards everybody else by doing the right thing, by living from a place of love, by making that choice to do the loving thing. When you are existing from a loving place, when you're being your true self, you're following your true nature, you are better prepared to withstand the things that come your way. You will handle them from a place of love and less from a place of reactionary negative emotion, right? So you are better able to think about your next step and how to deal with what you need to deal with. It'll make things a lot easier on you. And it can't protect you from everything. But like I said, it's your shield. It will protect you from yourself, from allowing yourself to go down that deep, dark hole and following the person who is bringing you pain. I think it's important that we talk about these things too. Through dialogue, we create ideas and we find commonality between each other, and we learn that, yeah, the majority of people want to do good. And when you talk about it, you are actually encouraging good behavior, aren't you? Right? When I taught my first year of school, I told my students that there's a big world out there. But in this classroom is our community. This is our microcosm of our world we live in while we're at school. So the way we treat each other and the way we interact with each other will determine how that little community, that little world will function. And we talked about it a lot. We talked about all the elements of not sucking, not being a bad person. We talked about all of the things that we would want to have happen for ourselves. The kindness that we give is the kindness that we receive. I kept pushing that thought with the kids. And it was amazing because it didn't take them much to buy in. There was, again, they're at that age where they're young enough to where they're still not corrupted by life, to where it just felt right to them. It was all natural. And we had one of the most harmonious classrooms that I've ever experienced, either as a student or as a teacher. And I could see how the kids were, as the best example of the last day of school, where the kids didn't want to leave. They were literally saying how they didn't want this to be the last day of school. Which I thought was ironic, because when I was a kid, I couldn't wait for school to end and have summer vacation. But hey, I guess that says something about how much better these kids are than I was when I was their age. So that's pretty cool. I'll take that. I'll take that as a victory. So, but that microcosm of a community, our classroom community, showed me that it is achievable to live in a loving world. That maybe that's how it starts. It starts in the smallest of community circles. And if you can get enough of these little communities to then come together and form a larger community, and then that larger community becomes part of an even larger community and country and world, that when we realize that what we want is goodness, and we gain goodness by being good, that we can change that paradigm of the unloving world to one that is more loving.